All right, quick update on my portfolio. Try to do this every 100K and kind of talk about how I've changed my philosophy or changed my strategies, right? Because it always feels like you know everything at the time, and then a couple years later, or maybe 100K later, you change your strategy. So, not too much has changed since the 200K one, but 300K, pretty good milestone here. You can see 3 years ago, we've had some pretty insane returns, probably about 90% returns over 3 years. So averaging about, actually more than that, close to 100%. So I was at 46K back in 2022. Today we're at 300,000. So kind of the same strategy. I use Fidelity as the one-stop shop. I've got everything automated. So when the paycheck comes in, the HSA gets its max. The 401k gets maxed out with my employer matching up to 50%. So that's a massive amount. And then we've got our brokerage here that we use for all of our daily stuff. So I don't use a checking account, no savings. I don't have any banks. I just use Fidelity as a one-stop shop. If you want to see how I do that, check out my other video. But I basically have it all simplified in here. And so in my brokerage, I pay all my bills, and I have a debit card for that for daily use. So auto pay is on for that. I don't have to do anything. And then I'll typically do any extra. I'll try to keep about 5K in cash. And by that, I mean it's in the money market account for Fidelity. So it's in SPAXX automatically at 4%. So any money that I have sitting around in here, it's always going to be pretty much a high yield savings account by default, which is pretty cool. But that's it. Things are looking good. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I've got all of these. I think my 401k is in a S&P 500 index fund for Vanguard through the workplace. Otherwise, I would have it in one of Fidelity's. So I think it's like VFSSX, but basically tracks the S&P 500 index. And then I've got my brokerage. Anything in there is going to be in FXAIX, I believe. That's the Fidelity S&P 500 index fund. And then same thing with the HSA. So that guy's going to be automatically investing. All 20,800 are in FXAIX, the Fidelity S&P 500 fund. So portfolio, I'm very bullish on just going all out on S&P 500 index funds. I don't do any bonds. I don't do any, international or anything like that. No Bitcoin. I have one strategy, and that's all I do. So that's it. Nothing's really changed. The real estate that I invested in, the passive syndication where I'm a limited partner in, still haven't got my money back. There's still 50K in that asset. They're trying to sell it. So hopefully when they do sell that 18-unit property and those 4 Airbnbs, I'll get some type of return, or at least my 50K back. That'd be ideal. So my net worth technically is actually 340K, I believe. Yeah, 340K. I'm just not counting that just in case I lose that money in that deal, right? So I'm trying to really focus on just the investments that are equities. And that's it.